Chief Justice David Maraga has urged East Africa member states to fast-track the process of the integration of the East African community. Speaking during the opening ceremony of the annual East African Judges and Magistrates Association conference in Mombasa, Maraga says there is need for effective dispute resolution to facilitate regional unity and integration.
Imagine if we get together and the goods we manufacture in East Africa are sold within the East African countries. You can see the economic potential that we hold as a region. Rather than importing goods from foreign countries, if the East African countries can come together and we assist each other to develop our industries, that population is great and it will be great for our people. If you look at that and look at the African continent with Agenda 2063, the emphasis is on development, economic development. So as the judiciaries, what is our role in assisting our countries to be able to develop and achieve the economic prosperity that we should have? In my view, it is our duty as the judiciaries of East Africa to ensure that our service delivery to our individual countries and to the affairs of the community is expeditious and effective, so that any disputes arising from the economic activities in East Africa are resolved in time. In very, very short time, and the firms and the business communities that are involved in these activities are able to proceed and do their work as soon as they can.
Attorney General Kihara Kariuki says decision of the courts must be respected by all, no matter how powerful.
The relationship between the three arms of government is one of independence, but also of interdependence. The three arms of government are independent from each other because they perform different roles and provide us systems of checks and balances against each other. This is the essence of the separation of powers. However, and equally important, the three arms are also interdependent because the functions they play are interconnected. While the legislature makes law, the judiciary interprets the law, and the executive has the enforcement mandate. Ladies and gentlemen, as a nation, we take pride in the independence of all arms of government and are always cognizant of our interdependence. This is the kind of institutional relationship that has to be maintained to ensure good governance and achieve the attendant imperative of the rule of law. The judiciary must be given institutional and operational independence. The decision of the courts must be respected by all, no matter how powerful or influential they may be. Judges and magistrates must be led to make decisions on the basis of law and law alone.
Chief Registrar of the Judiciary, Anne Amadi, says that there is need to strengthen regional integration.
Need for us to strengthen regional integration cannot be overemphasized. And as the Kenyan team, we are pleased to have had the opportunity to host the judges and magistrates of the region to claim their space in that very important discourse. And I'm aware that there are other registrars from the region. Our work is of a facilitative nature. So we look forward to vibrant discussions and for whatever action points that are going to come out of this conference. On behalf of the registrars of the region, I take this opportunity to give you our commitment to support those action points to make sure that whatever you agree on is going to be implemented.
Justice Jacob Mwambegele from Tanzania says they have gained a lot from the East African region.
We in Tanzania learn a lot from our brothers and sisters in the East African region, more especially Kenya and Uganda. In the recent past, my lords, the President of the United Republic of Tanzania assented to a very important legislation in our country. This legislation will see to it that the WOOF reforms in England, a process which has been started earlier by our colleagues in Kenya and Uganda, are implemented in Tanzania. This will be through the incorporation of the overriding objective in the laws of Tanzania, which is also referred to as the oxygen principle in our laws.
Chief Justice of Uganda, Bat Katubere, speaks on East Africa integration.
I personally believe that if we are going to do East African integration, we've got to build a strong foundation based on law, based on good governance, based on observance of human rights and democracy. And we as judges, as judiciaries, we have a big role to play in interpretation of the laws and building a common jurisprudence. I've been associated with Matters East Africa myself since 1975 as a young state attorney involved in the then Treaty Review Commission. And then I got involved in the division of the assets and liabilities of the East African community. And my first appointment in government was as Deputy Minister in charge of regional integration. And later, as Attorney General, I was proud to participate in the negotiations for the new East African Treaty and to initiate each of the pages of the new treaty. So as Chief Justice now, I feel we have to continue building those bricks to make sure that the integration of East Africa does not collapse once again. And if it is based on the rule of law, if it is based on a common jurisprudence, I think this is the right way to go.
Speaker after another lauded the theme of the conference, judicial role in deepening regional integration and the post-2015 development agenda, a dialogue on challenges and opportunities as an important and timely topic for discussion. Zakim Rajan, Judiciary Media Service in Mombasa.